Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone who has joined today from different parts of the world. Thank you very much for having me here today. Honorable School President, Father Aristotle Dye, Honorable Grade School Principal, Mrs. Jane Kakasho, Honorable Guest School Principal, Mrs. Thays Ledrido, and Honorable Human Resources Director, Mr. Michel Delos Reyes. I thank you, Celine Istaris, for connecting with me and inviting me to this event. I'm sorry I cannot be on this meeting with you due to time difference. However, I'm very, very pleased to be here. I also want to thank Frank, Jasmine Frank, the founder of Globally Empowered, who made the initial connections of me and Celine. Jasmine and Celine have been very active members of Global Sustainable Futures Progress to Partnership Network. And I thank you for everything for doing that. So first of all, congratulations to everyone who has come together to initiate this program. And I wish you all the successes to achieve the sustainability targets that you and your school have decided on. And I wish you become leaders in this sustainability journey. So today I want to talk about a few things, what I feel, why the schools, colleges, or any institution that provides knowledge exchange and educational spaces need to engage with sustainable development goals. It is the right time for everyone to engage. It is urgent, and we should all be doing that. First, I would like to emphasize that you are never small to make a difference. Due to the increased awareness of SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, people have become aware of SDGs. But what people are struggling with or not aware of how to make a contribution to SDGs. When we need to understand is that through our day-to-day activities, we can all contribute to SDGs. However, we do not know how to make a conscious decision through our day-to-day lives and how we can contribute. We are already contributing to it, but we do not know whether it is a positive or negative impact we are making. There is also another issue in SDGs that they are thought to be global, and we hardly connect ourselves with SDGs. But remember, SDGs are for the people and by the people. It is all responsibility of people who have to make a contribution to these SDGs and make the transformation possible. We forget that SDGs are for us, and everyone here is a part of it to make it happen. I will emphasize again the message that no one is small to make a difference. I will give you an example. There is a man who started planting tree, just one tree at a time, in a barren land in India. And soon he transferred that land into wildlife sanctuary with plenty of animals in there. In few years, he was very successful. So initiating a program and implementing that is what we need today. We know plenty of solutions. We talk about that this is possible through this or that is possible through this and so on. But it is hard to implement and then hard to scale it up. And we need all our minds to focus on implementation and scaling that. Philippines have big problems such as deforestation, illegal logging, mining, overfishing, urbanization, and heavy pollution. You might be thinking why I'm talking about these big problems to children or an entity like you, school. But you must remember that, and also you might be wondering that when I do not cut trees, I have not created deforestation, I don't do illegal logging, or I don't do overfishing, then why I'm mentioning this? But everyone's activities, day-to-day activities, are impacting and creating these problems. And therefore, we need to think how this is happening. So let me explain when I mention these problems here, that these all problems are created due to human activities. Each one of us, you and me, all are creating these problems. And every day these problems are increasing. And therefore we need to change our habits, our behavior, our decisions to make changes that would impact on such big problems. Then how can school take part in this? How they can become an active contributors or positive contributors? Of course, you will all agree on me that schools play a significant role in fostering students' development in their relationship with identity, emotional skills, and overall well-being. Overall, schools are responsible for making children what they are and multidimensional whole thing. So when we are talking about big problems, such as deforestation or illegal logging or overfishing, what we need to do is to take children on the journey of what's happening throughout the life cycle of such processes, such big problems. Make them aware of these issues, either through a story or by practical experiences. We must make children involved in these activities. For example, if you are sitting on a table, talk about the table, that where this wood came from, how did this wood turn into furniture, who turned it, and what was the components or elements used in that turning, like in the process of making a table. Where did you buy from? How did you get that to this house? And what is the value it makes for you in the house? What is the value you have paid? And what it has made a social or environmental impact on the society? So this is all you need to talk to your children. Everyone in the family should be talking about this. Whole life cycle process is one of the very important process in anything that we buy and use, consume, or it could be a product or service. But we need to understand that life cycle process in order to understand its value, in order to understand its connections to these big problems or to the society. So it is what we want. We want conversation. We want them to understand how the life will be and what they can do in future, what decisions they can take for future to create their own future. They do not have to like go and build the environment, but or they do not have to go into a forest, but we can, by our own activities, staying at home, staying at school, staying at local places, can impact these activities. It is imperative to show the value of anything you bring to your house, explaining to them the value of money and also the value of social and environmental impact that product or services make. It is critical also to know the mining life cycle process. There are plenty of children working in this industry. You can explain them why they are unfortunate and why they need to work, and how we can take them out of that poverty. Is there any sharing model we know? Is there any cooperative model we know? Is there anything we can do to make the life of those children better? As an educator, we must speak about all this. We must develop activities and projects that encounter our children to directly get involved in such activities, to understand the impacts of these activities on social and environmental impacts. Science is what we need to make them understand. We do not want them to get emotionally or any other involvement, but we must bring them to the reality of the society based on science, truth, facts. And that is what we need to do. Schools, I think they are very much better placed in the society to do all these interactions and induce those values into children. Also, when we are talking, we come across eating fish, right? And it is valuable to explain where that fish might have come from, and who was involved in the production, and how it was important not to overfish. So likewise, I think we can talk about urbanization. Of course, we are all tempted on understanding that urbanization is good for us. Of course, it brings so much prosperity to people. However, it has also brought some or many social and environmental degradation. We must be aware of both things and explain them both things. So primary, I think, what is we need is to employ our connections with those small activities to the bigger problems, and that will help children to understand that how they should be behaving, what should they value, and what decisions they should take for their each and every activities in their life. I feel Philippines government has done several things around this. National actions are grounded in laws to ensure robustness, and cross-sectoral coordination and orchestra of actions have been done through institutional mechanisms in Philippines. This is not I'm saying, but they have said that. I think you need to explore what mechanisms they have done and connect yourself to those mechanisms, contribute to those mechanisms. Schools and people are the one who will be able to do the transformation. It is not only the school or not only government. It is everyone's responsibility. And especially, I think, within children form their values between 2 and 5 years. And therefore, the parents are also equally responsible to induce those values in them, to make them understand what is better and what is not better, not good. Make these values and SDGs a table conversation, your homely conversation. Make them energy monitors, make them water directors, make them wise consumers, thinking of what they should buy and what not to buy. Make them investors in their own life. Think constantly about your actions, relate them with SDG, and try to deliver through teaching, education, research, and also implement that in your own organization's administration, and connect with the community around to see how you can contribute to that. Making a whole institutional approach in a school is very important. And so you must be bringing interdisciplinary connections within the children when you teach them or when you do any activity. Already I mentioned twice, and I will mention again, that nobody is small in contributing and making a difference. We must decide on our values and we must learn from it, and also make a change in our decision on what we eat, what we wear, what we drink, what we decide, how we use our energy, how we use our water, how we use our natural resources, and many other things, like even commuting, using, and how we tour our, like make our tours. Are they nature-based tours? And many, many things like that. It is very critical to encourage children to have these values embedded right from their childhood or schooling. And therefore, I would say, please do that in each and every activity. Finally, I would like you to connect with the Global Sustainable Futures Progressive Partnership Network. I will send a link to Celine and she will forward it to you all. And thank you for having me. Thank you.